Is Singapore really better than Malaysia in 2025, or is that just a myth people keep repeating? When we talk about two of Southeast Asia's most influential nations, the conversation often turns into a rivalry. One side insists Singapore is the future, the other argues Malaysia offers the smarter lifestyle. But the truth is far more nuanced, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Both countries sit side by side geographically, yet they are worlds apart in certain ways. Singapore is famous for its futuristic skyline, clean streets, strict rules, and top-ranked economy. It's often described as the Switzerland of Asia, a tiny city-state that punches far above its weight. Meanwhile, Malaysia offers vast land, cultural richness, a lower cost of living, and an atmosphere where tradition blends with modernization. For some, Malaysia represents comfort, community, and space, things Singapore sometimes lacks. So, in this video, we're diving deep into 6 core areas that matter most to people comparing the two countries: economy and jobs, cost of living and housing, healthcare and education, safety and rule of law, business opportunities, and the overall culture and lifestyle. We'll weigh the facts, highlight the strengths of each, and then leave the final verdict to you. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We bring you country comparisons, travel insights, and real-world analysis every single week. Now let's get into the details. Singapore versus Malaysia, who comes out on top in 2025? Economy and jobs, who earns more, who grows faster? Singapore's headline strength is income per person and the service and high-tech economy built around finance, logistics, and advanced manufacturing. On a per capita basis, Singapore sits near the top of the world rankings for nominal GDP per person, far higher than Malaysia's, which typically translates into higher wages for skilled professionals. Singapore's economy grew strongly coming out of the pandemic and continues to attract multinational regional headquarters, sovereign investment, and high-value jobs. So for professionals seeking top-tier salaries and tightly integrated global career paths, Singapore clearly leads. Malaysia, by contrast, has a larger population and a more diverse mix of manufacturing, commodities, and domestic services. Wages are lower on average, but the economy offers good opportunities in engineering, manufacturing, tourism, and the growing digital economy, often with a lower cost of entry for entrepreneurs. In short, if your priority is top-of-market pay and a compact, highly efficient ecosystem for finance and tech, Singapore tends to be better. If your priority is lower salary thresholds but a broader range of sectors and cheaper startup costs, Malaysia often wins. Data context: Singapore's GDP per capita is markedly higher than Malaysia's as reported by major economic databases. Cost of living and housing, where your money stretches further. The most immediate contrast people notice is cost. Singapore is expensive and Malaysia is relatively cheap. Cost of living comparison services show that living in Singapore can cost well over 100% more than in Malaysia for many day-to-day items, and when you factor in rent the gap grows even larger. That means the higher salaries in Singapore are partly consumed by housing, transport, and schooling costs. Malaysia, with cities like Kuala Lumpur and peninsular towns, gives you more disposable income if you work locally or draw foreign savings. Groceries, eating out, and many services are significantly cheaper. For families and long-stay travelers, this is a decisive factor. Two people can often enjoy a more comfortable lifestyle in Malaysia for the same money that would get them a tighter budget in Singapore. That said, Singapore's higher prices also buy world-class public transport, ultra-clean public spaces, and other conveniences that many find worth the premium. If you care most about stretching every ringgit, Malaysia is often better. If you value convenience and are willing to trade money for time and predictability, Singapore may feel better. Healthcare and education, quality and accessibility. Singapore is routinely ranked among the top countries in Asia for healthcare quality and medical infrastructure. It has hospitals and specialists that attract medical tourists, and the public-private mix is tightly regulated to produce high outcomes and short wait times for those who can afford it or have insurance. Malaysia also has very capable healthcare. Public hospitals provide wide coverage and private hospitals in major cities are excellent and much more affordable than in Singapore. For education, Singapore's schools and universities are consistently high on global measures, and the system produces strong outcomes in STEM and language skills. Malaysia offers good universities and international school options, often at lower prices. For many families, the trade-off is paying less for a strong education, though some hyper-competitive tracks in Singapore can be difficult to match. So, In pure top-tier quality, Singapore often leads. In accessible, lower-cost quality, Malaysia provides strong value. Safety, rule of law and daily predictability. One of Singapore's trademark advantages is safety and predictability, low violent crime, strict enforcement of rules, and an emphasis on public order. International Peace and Safety Indexes list Singapore among the safest countries in Asia and high globally, which translates to low fear of walking alone at night and confidence in public services. Malaysia is generally safe by global standards but shows more variance across regions and urban neighborhoods. Petty crime and localized safety concerns are more commonly reported than in Singapore. For many expatriates and families, Singapore's reliable security and strict rule of law environment is a major factor that makes life simpler and lowers day-to-day stress. If you count safety and low uncertainty as better, Singapore is typically the winner here. Business climate and ease of doing things. Singapore consistently ranks as one of the easiest places in the world to set up and run a business. Simple registration, efficient courts, pro-investor policies, and a stable regulatory framework that multinational companies trust. That environment reduces friction for startups that need fast permits, international banking, and reliable contract enforcement. Malaysia has improved its business environment and offers incentives for manufacturing and technology, and it can be a lower-cost place to scale production or R&D. However, for firms that want a single gateway to Southeast Asian finance and legal certainty, Singapore's streamlined ecosystem often makes it the superior operational choice. For bootstrapped founders or manufacturing-focused companies that need lower operational costs, Malaysia may be the smarter, more economical base. Recent economic reports and government stats show Singapore's continued attractiveness for foreign investment while Malaysia pushes reform and incentives to close gaps. Culture, lifestyle, and intangible quality of life. This is where the debate gets personal. Malaysia's cultural diversity, larger physical land area, lower prices, tropical neighborhoods, food scene, and slower pace in many places deliver a lifestyle many people prefer: more space, more variety, and a friendlier cost-to-enjoyment ratio. Singapore's compactness, ultra-efficient transit, multicultural city energy, manicured parks, and high-standard services appeal to people who want convenience, safety, and a cosmopolitan lifestyle with easy regional travel. Which is better comes down to what you value: nightlife and globalized business hubs versus more relaxed family life and rural escapes. For digital nomads, retirees on a budget, and food lovers, Malaysia often wins on daily joy per dollar. For finance professionals, corporate executives, or people who prioritize safety and frictionless services, Singapore often feels better. So, after looking at the big picture, can we really say Singapore is better than Malaysia in 2025? The honest answer is, it depends on what you value most. If you want high-paying jobs, unmatched efficiency, world-class safety, and a place where rules are followed to the letter, then Singapore is the clear winner. Its compact size and polished systems make it one of the most convenient and secure places to live on Earth. But if you prefer affordability, more living space, rich cultural diversity, and a lifestyle that gives you more freedom to enjoy life without breaking the bank, then Malaysia quietly outshines its neighbor. In many ways, Singapore and Malaysia are like two sides of the same coin. One thrives on structure, speed, and precision, while the other thrives on balance, variety, and warmth. Both countries have something powerful to offer, and the choice of which is better really comes down to your personal goals and lifestyle preferences. Now, here's where you come in. Which one do you think is better for you, the fast-paced, globalized hub of Singapore or the more relaxed, cost-friendly and culturally diverse Malaysia? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see what side you lean on. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with a friend who's debating where to live, work, or travel next. Stay tuned for more comparisons that will help you make smarter choices about countries, cultures, and opportunities. Until next time, remember, no place is perfect, but every place has its strengths. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep discovering the world with us.